This first module 1 is aiming to clarify how the DCNM application fits into DCNM intent-based networking solutions to address the enterprise needs. Right? So how DCNM helps to address the enterprise requirement that grows and increase their revenue. Let's have a look at the first at the trends of the technologies. Most enterprises agree that their business relies on the differentiators they can leverage against their competitors. Most of the time, differentiators are driven by the innovation of the technology, which is the essential source of the success. Therefore, Cisco continuously innovates with new technologies to help enterprises taking advantages of these differentiators to execute faster with more security always, right? So a key example is Cisco Cloud Scale ASIC with all its specific hardware-based features that you can't get from the merchant silicon hardware. Another example that relies on the cloud scale ASIC is, for example, the ACI Fabric, the Cisco Advanced and Security and platform that automates all the IT tasks and accelerates the data center application deployments, right? And last but not least, but crucial for these modules is DCNM, right? And DCNM for managing the classical Ethernet-based networks, as well as for programming the VXLAN EVPN fabrics using advanced network automations. Simplicity and speed are the key elements for the enterprise success. Simplicity mitigates risk of human mistakes, while the faster you differentiate yourself, the faster you win. Nevertheless, the latter is only true if you can provide and maintain a robust, always available solutions that supports the user applications. However, the consequence of achieving our goals too quickly in a simple manner may result sometimes a negative impact on the business revenue. Cisco addresses these three pillar objectives with either its enhanced SDN-based platform, SCI, or with its network-centric based solutions, DCNM. Both solutions accelerate the deployment of applications with automations to program quickly and surely your network fabric. As a result, the necessary tools are available to easily automate the locations where an application lands, either on your on-prem data center or in the cloud. And this is based on the enterprise business criticality levels, right? So, however, this is efficient only if the application is always on and secured for the end user. The end user who actually doesn't care about the technology per se and the level of backend complexity. What he needs above all is to always access the application when he needs it. However, the flip side resides on the risks that the IT infrastructure becomes more complex, getting all systems operating smoothly. More complex implies more specific and dedicated management tools. And as a result, the network teams with their management tools grow exponentially, making it difficult to maintain the business always up and running. And more importantly, the security controls may become challenging to be maintained always up and efficiently from, when you look at different angles. This means a new paradigm for the IT organizations. The end user needs to always access the application securely and as soon as possible. IT must accelerate the development of new softwares faster than the competitions, while the same level of security across applications, compute stacks, storage, network infrastructure, cloud must be maintained always the same. And IT needs to always diagnose and remediate very quickly unplanned changes when it happens. On the other hand, we know that too many security controls may be too complex to maintain efficiently. So it should be a fair balance between simplicity, speed to deploy and to operate, and the security. with the choice to adapt the environment supporting the applications on-prem data center or in the cloud seamlessly with one or multiple hypervisors and the choice of the right orchestrator. The IT teams need the flexibility to go beyond one single environment. They need to move at speed and to make their infrastructure more dynamic to address the continuously changes of the applications and developers. And all of this with the required policy and optimizations and the same level of assurance to minimize the risk anywhere. In modern network infrastructure, the elasticity offered with the virtualizations allow to leverage the multi-cloud approaches seamlessly. And as a consequence, the enterprises are gaining higher flexibility, availability of resources, while they need to maintain the same level of security end to end, regardless if the data center infrastructure relies on a single data center or multiple sites. If you extend your on-premises data center to a private or various public clouds, at the end, the rules and the requirements are always the same. Nonetheless, it is crucial to leverage the utilization of multiple data center domains, private and multi-clouds, with a mix of physical servers, containers, virtual machines, and network services, and all of these kind of components as simply as possible, fully open to allow any IT organizations to leverage the network platforms in conjunction with their preferred management tools when it is needed. And to deploy a solid infrastructure easily and quickly across multiple data centers, across multiple clouds, either private or public clouds or a mix of. Now, the network infrastructure is essential to achieve the connections anywhere to improve the enterprise business, right? So, and these connections must be done seamlessly, simply without any downtime. However, whatever the model of the infrastructure you choose, you always need to provision, to manage, and to secure it. And that's the rules. Cisco innovates with a common platform called Nexus Dashboard that centralizes the application for data operations, such as flow streaming, telemetry, advisors, network assurance, and more to come. But in addition to the data operations, the Nexus dashboard supports the orchestrator to manage multiple sites, multiple domains, as well as the multi-cloud infrastructure, while you maintain the initial policies always from one site to another. That being said, the Nexus dashboard platform is available for both ACI and NXOS/DCNM environment, and we will cover a bit the integration of the orchestrator and DCNM during the last module number 7. Cisco intent-based networking allows enterprises to automate and manage the end-to-end network infrastructure, the campus, the WAN, and the data center networks with the private and the public cloud, where either the Nexus dashboard orchestrator, the ACI Epic controller, or the DCNM centralize the data center network operations and deployments from a single network fabric to multi-site, from on-premise data center to multi-cloud environments, but with all the advanced data operations. There are two Cisco essential solutions to automate and operate the network components, right? ACI and DCNM. ACI is the turnkey SDN flagship solutions tightly coupled with a policy-driven infrastructure that centralizes the automation and operation of the whole overlay fabric as a single platform, as a single element, right? DCNM focuses on the standalone NXOS platforms. DCNM follows the network-centric approach to centralize the automations and operations, but on a per-switch basis to form a solid and efficient network fabric at the end, and either for the classic LAN or for the VXLAN, EVPN, or both, right? based on different criteria. Some enterprises may want to leverage the enhanced SDN approach, SEI, to operate and automate a data center network infrastructure. And some other may want to keep a network-centric approach with the comprehensive DCNM application to operate and automate the NXOS-based fabric. As a solution, should address simply, fast, and securely automations for provisioning and managing the network components, including the support for the necessarily daily operation tools. For your information, there is a similar series of videos for those who wish, to better understand ACI. If you're not familiar with ACI or DCNM and you don't know which solution fits better for you, then probably the best would be for you to attend both series of modules. One of the key reasons for going with DCNM is that some customers may have more experiences with the traditional NXOS they expect to leverage, or they want to keep an eye on routing protocol states. They have been operating for many years, right? So networks are evolving toward the overlay networks with VXLAN, which also become a de facto standard for modern fabrics and other campus networks. Consequently, Cisco continues to innovate, to simplify, to automate, to invest on what we call the standalone NXOS software, and with DCNM as its data center network management platform. DCNM uses either its GUI or centralized RESTful APIs or CLI to automate the configuration for each individual network device in order to program at the end the whole fabric, right, end to end. On the other hand, the ACI controller operates at the fabric levels, either using the GUI or REST APIs or CLI, but it offers a full integration with virtual machine managers, containers, and private and public cloud, including, the health monitoring for daily operation and much more. Finally, both solutions rely on the common Cisco Nexus dashboard platforms to extend the network connectivity to other regions or cloud using the same network orchestrator framework. Let's focus on DCNM. DCNM encompasses a comprehensive management solution spanning from the network deployment to the storage network. For the management of the LAN, DCNM supports all Nexus series deployed in a standalone mode using NXOS, and it supports as well the iOS XR-based platforms and some third-party devices. It includes also the visualization for the bare metals, for the virtual machines, containers, and OpenStack. Another instance of DCNM focuses on storage networking, the SAN, and it supports the MDS series platforms as well as the VMware and UCS integration for the storage transport. And the last, DCNM also manages the IP fabric for media for the broadcast industry, which must support terabytes of multicast traffic. This series of modules focuses on DCNM for LAN fabric. And the strengths of DCNM comes with the 4 pillars covering automation, control, visibility, and reliability. You can automate the deployment for a VXLAN VPN fabric, including the networks and VRF in few clicks. You just need to rack the switches as they come from factory, and connect the uplinks together, and DCNM will discover and auto-configure the switches based on Cisco best practices, without you to intervene in the configurations. Control. DCNM is open for user customizations, right? So it's very, very flexible. So you can extend the deployment based on your personal requirements if you need, if not embedded into DCNM. So this is very open. Health visibility. When the fabrics and the networks are deployed, DCNM offers a real-time visibility on the network and compute, on the health, on the LAN utilization, link utilization, interfaces, and you can localize endpoints across multiple sites, and you can visualize the details of the endpoints with the operating system release and so on. So a lot of visibility in different building blocks. Reliability. DCNM monitors in real time the running configurations for all switches to ensure that each device is running the exact intended configurations, right? The initial configuration. If one word of the configuration is not in sync with DCNM database, the network team is immediately notified with an alarm. This is another crucial function. Today, you can't talk about network management without mentioning RESTful APIs, right? And DCNM uses RESTful API to render the GUI to perform all the operations, right? So if you wish to use your API management applications tools to program the fabric via a central controller, then you can leverage the embedded DCNM REST APIs. And we will talk about this. So one crucial function of DCNM is the possibility to operate a classic LAN. And you can automate the configuration for traditional .1Q based connectivity such as SVI, HSRP, VRP, VPC, configure, physical and logical interface. In short, anything that you need to configure in a traditional data center network. You can import an existing data center network or create a new one from ground up. DCNM records the configuration and display the topology. You can visualize a single data center network, or you can group multiple LAN together into a same topology view. The policy templates are available for classic LAN to create new and edit any interfaces, physical or logical, including virtual port channel. VPC pairing are automated using the policy template that user can customize if needed. You can configure layer 2, layer 3 services, preview the configuration, push that you push to each switch afterwards, and deploy, right? You can visualize a single data center, or you can group multiple classic LAN together to monitor the network components via a single pane of glass. When your data center network is deployed, you can schedule regular backups and trigger a backup according to any new changes on the configurations. You can monitor the network topology with device and connectivity health, device resources, LAN, and links performances in real time. You can visualize the computing stack, the physical and virtual machines, vCenter, containers, orchestrators, Kubernetes, or OpenStack. In addition, what is very crucial with DCNM is there is a configuration compliant process that continuously monitors and alarms all devices in case of any change configuration happens via a direct access to the switch via console port, if you will, right? Meaning, in short, no one can change any configuration of the switch without being informed or without telling you about the changes. Now, the deployment of the VXLAN EVPN fabric is fully automated using the what we call the Easy Fabric template. And we have a module that talks about all the policy templates. But in short, to make it simpler and faster for the end user, DCNM brings a VXLAN fabric with all the settings pre-configured using the default parameters that you can keep as is if you wish, or you can change it if you feel the need to change any parameters, right? It's very, very flexible. The fabric templates that comes with default parameters relies on the Cisco best practices, Consequently, you can deploy a very solid VXLAN EVPN fabric in just few clicks, and I will show you this. DCNM enables and automates the deployment for advanced fabric features such as PBR, TRM, MPLS handoff, VXLAN OAM, service modules, and much more, of course. And you can automate the deployment of multi-site domains interconnecting multiple VXLAN fabric in just a few clicks. The network and VRF deployments are automated and can be extended across multiple sites using just a single pane of glass and few clicks. DCNM embeds the what we call the elastic service functions or applications to insert a firewall or load balancer device, or including the VNF, the virtual network functions, inside the VXLAN fabric for intra-tenant or inter-tenant communications, right? And DCNM automates the extension of your segmented layer 3 network toward a routed core network or an MPLS network just in few clicks. If you need to extend your on-prem data center network toward a public cloud, DCNM helps you to establish a secure connectivity with your cloud provider. Now, notice that if you are not familiar with VXLAN EVPN or any advanced feature, you can be confident and leave DCNM to deploy everything for you. Otherwise, if you are a network expert on the VXLAN EVPN fabric, for example, you can at any time preview all the configurations to be deployed by DCNM and check the parameters pushed toward the switches and highlight the differences between the current configuration and what is being pushed to the devices. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. You can now switch to the next session that discusses about the why and how DCNM 11 can help you to operate your data center.